Hey everybody, it's Connor back from This Old Farm, and today we're back up in the pole barn, and we're working on the apartment again. So, flip the camera around. We went through and have started a little bit. We kind of got ahead of the game here before we started recording this past week, actually on Friday. Today's Saturday. Yesterday, before I came up, I stopped at the old Menards and picked up some joist ties, whatever you want to call them, and put those in on that side because that side was unsecured, we'll say, because the boards have some bends in them and whatnot, so we were using the floor to line up the boards. So we went through and secured up that side. The other ones are done, so we didn't do that. We just bought some for the ones that we moved and put in. So we got some up there. I didn't do that one yet, and I have to take the nail gun actually and go up there. I didn't do that one with one of the ties because of that angle piece that's holding the garage door bracket up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the nail gun and just hammer it into that, and probably hammer it into the 6x6. I think that's a 6x6. 6x6 pole that's for that's the barn's pole. So we went through and did that. We also bought some, they're upstairs, some big heavy screws and put into the railing to make it kind of a little bit sturdier. It's quite a bit nicer than it was. We didn't show you guys that beforehand, but so we got the railing up, or the railing a little bit more secured. We still have to do the board here, but I don't know how to cut this angle up here to match with that. So Rick's got to show me that one, and then we'll have a top board on that, and it'll look like this one here, match. What else have we done? I pulled down the other two supports that went at this pole, or at this brace here, and that one there. There was those two those angle pieces, like what was up front here. I don't know, if you remember back to the last farm update video, if you don't remember, go back and rewatch it. They had them boards there that were going diagonally as supports for the rafters. Rafters will be fine without that. They're strong enough, they're sturdy enough, they'll live. Other than for that, and then we'll go back down here. At the bottom here, or at the end of the back side of the apartment, we put in that piece there, and because of the way that we put the rafters in, you can see that the floor joist didn't come all the way out to the end of the subfloor. So we put in this end piece. So, and then we're gonna take this big board here, and we'll cut some smaller sections to go between there to give us some support. So when we put in our wall section here, our studding, it'll have, that wall will be supported. It won't be hanging off the edge of just some chintzy old OSB. So I'm gonna go through and do some cutting. We'll do a video like last weekend where we, do bits and pieces here and then bring back the camera and show you and update you. And so I'm gonna go through and cut in the small little sections that go there, and then we'll probably make another wall, I guess, and get her kind of boxed in. So, talk to you guys in a minute. Well, there we are with the final wall, and they're all in place. They're all nicely butted up together. I goofed up the middle one a little bit there. It's all right. Rick came up and kind of got it fixed for me. So now what we're going to go through and do is we're going to take that sheeting down there, the OSB. It's on the other side of the RTV. We're going to put that up on the outside of the wall, and we're going to fill in that gap there as well, so that in the future there, when the underneath of this apartment is a tractor workshop, which is hopefully in the near future after this project's done, we kind of killed two birds with one stone. I'll have to notch out for that a little bit there. But yeah, we're gonna go through and try throwing some sheeting up on here and see how well that goes as a one-man band. And if I have to enlist Rick's help, he'll come up here and help me. And then once we're done with that, then we're gonna come over here to this edge and we're gonna go through and fill in that gap along there, so that when we go through and put the wall, that it will, you know, have something to kind of land on, I guess, so to speak. So we were talking and discussing, and we'll buy some of that pink insulation, the foam insulation, to put up against that wall, and probably that one too, I would assume. And then that way it, you know, insulates our wall there for us. So I'm gonna get started on trying to sheet this, and we'll see how well that goes, I guess. Well, we'll do a little bit of a progress update, I guess. So well, we got that wall sheeted. That's the front wall. This will be where the front door is, of course. We gotta do a little extension, but whatever, that's no big deal. So we got that one sheeted. We got one sheet up over here. I could do another one there. And then I tried to work on doing this side, this portion from here to here. And you can see the stairs are getting a little further away, and I can't get the freaking board up here by myself. So I'm gonna have to enlist Rick's help for the rest of this. But he's working on that Toyota. You'll go over to his channel if you want to see the videos on that stuff. If you're a member, you'll know what Toyota I'm talking about. It's a blue truck. But anyways, so I'm letting him finish that up, and while we're waiting for that, I'm working on the gap over there. So I just put that one in. I just measured up the next one. I just have to chalk line it. And we put in two down here to fill in that gap. I notched out the little angle board that holds the garage door bracket that I showed you down there earlier. I notched that out so that the floor goes over the top of that. I did nail, I was talking about that I'm going to nail the one brace that goes, you know, the one floor joist to that angle brace, and I did do that. It's nailed in. And cutting out that notch really, I don't think is affecting its structural support, as one would say in proper terms. So we did that. So now we're working on, I kind of shifted from that area over to this area because of that notching. Well, then I ended up having to ask Rick how to get more chalk on the chalk line, because I'm not really familiar with those. Anyways, so I grabbed the Sawzall while I was down there and notched that out. So I could go back over to this side, but I'm gonna I'll work from this over here. One thing I will have to do now on this one that I've got to mark out yet, is I'll have to do a cutout on this, much like I did over here. Let's see, we cut out a portion there. I'll have to do the same thing for this one that goes from there to, I think, that one there. So we'll have to do that. And yeah, we're getting there. And then of course on this one, I'll have to, wherever it ends up coming from, I'll have to do a little L shape there rather than a notch out. I'll do a L shape there I decided that would be better rather than the workout, and then it worked out better with the way that piece ran. So yeah, that's what we're doing. We're filling in the gap now, waiting for Rick to finish fixing that Toyota. So gonna keep going here. Well, there it is. It's completely boxed in now. We'll walk up the stairs here. It was a little spooky there for a little while. This is actually the next day. It's Sunday. I had to call it quits yesterday because I was getting too freaked out on the ladder, having it up on the stairs here and stuff. It was wigging me out a little bit, so I took a break. And then today, Rick had to run into town really quick. So while he was doing that, while he was doing that, I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna quick try and knock this out. There was 3 panels left to do. I did them 3 panels, and well, now we got ourselves a box. She's completely walled off, of course, except for the back one and this side, which are gonna get done. And we have to close up the gap a little bit here because that's wider than, you know, your standard door. So there'll be a little stub wall or something there. And then of course there's the ceiling. But beyond that, it's pretty much got its general shape in now. So I had to do a little bit of a hackery job down on this end. And this one you can see we got kind of a double stud going on. What ended up happening is the length of that was not a full 8. So I had to cut down the bottom and the top one. So it changed the geometry of all of our studs a little bit there. So I had to butt up one there so that we had something for that portion to nail onto, because this one, so there's, that sheet goes from that stud there over to where about that second stud, the lefternmost stud is, and then this one had nothing to nail against over on this side. So I butted that stud up, that partial stud, to the full stud, and then had something for that sheet to nail onto. And yeah, now we got our box. So anyways, that's gonna be it for this weekend on the apartment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the progress that we made and enjoyed the update on it, I guess we'll say. We're chugging along here, kinda, slowly but surely, but she'll turn into something eventually here. So stay tuned for what we got. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll talk to y'all next time.